It's refreshing. A family-owned local business, family doing the work, doing it on a daily basis, staying involved in the community, and building an international company at the same time. Doing it the right way, doing the next right thing. That's what we're going to talk about. Karin Reale joins me next. Well, the heat is on. Let's get cooking. This is Purpose Under Pressure. It's a podcast about people just like you and me. We swing our feet out of bed every single morning. We do so on purpose with a plan. And what do we do when those storms rise up to knock us down? That's the pressure, and that's what this show is all about. Purpose Under Pressure is brought to you by Sandler by the Ruby Group, serving sales professionals nationwide from their Akron and Columbus, Ohio locations, also in Jacksonville, Florida. They are doing it right. They are doing it well. They are one of the highest performing Sandler sales training affiliates really in the entire country. And they're going to make a difference for you. If your business revolves around revenue and revenue generation and taking care of customers, it's worth a phone call, folks. It's Sandler by the Ruby Group. Check them out online at therubygroup.sandler.com. By the way, if you're watching this show, you've seen the show before, you came back for more. Would you tell a friend? Would you like the show? Would you follow us? Would you subscribe us? Anything we can do to get the word out is appreciated. That's how this changes others, and that's what we're here to do. So thank you for doing that. I do appreciate your being here and telling people about the show as well. So our guest today is a good friend of mine, and it's been amazing to watch her business grow and grow and grow and grow, and yet to see her as a person not change so much. And that's a really good thing. I'm excited to introduce to you Karin Reale. She's the CFO and owner at Goosefoot Acres, which is the home of a product you may know, dandelion. It's a caffeine-free herbal beverage and coffee alternative. It's delicious and it's local. And here is Karin Reale. Welcome to Purpose Under Pressure.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being invited, and I'm excited to spend this time with you today.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on the show too, because I love things that are local, and I love things that are done well, and I love things that are successful. And that's kind of Goosefoot Acres and dandelion all together. And can you tell us a little bit about your company, what you do, and kind of what you're so proud of? You're doing so many great things. Brag about it a little bit. Okay, Karin?
I would love to. So the company started 30 years ago. So it's kind of a big year for us. And my dad, he was unable to drink coffee. So it was a personal thing, but he couldn't drink coffee, but he really loved the idea of that morning Joe in the morning, that warm cup of Joe to kind of wake you up. Mm-hmm. And he was drinking different products that he enjoyed, but didn't have any nutritional value. So he went out to look, because his specialty was, he's a botanist. He had his PhD in botany, and his specialty was edible wild plants. So he went out and tried to find something that he could get, he knew that would have nutritional value. And from that background, dandelion root was the perfect alternative for that.
Dandelion root.
Yes, dandelion roots.
Yeah, and he found that because he was a botanist and he knew he knew what to look for. It just kind of like all put together. That's cool. Okay,
correct,
carry on.
So that was the thing that he was looking for, and he knew also chicory would give you that nice kind of rounded blended flavor. So he went out to find that. Couldn't really find exactly what he was looking for. Thought he did, but was realized that it wasn't what was exactly what he was looking for. So he went on to create his own blend as far as how much dandelion root and chicory root and things like that were in the product. And from then on, he went to fairs and herbal conferences. He was keynote speaker at all sorts of different places and really highlighted the benefits of this coffee alternative. And 30 years ago, it was unheard of, right? I mean, it really was, it was a game changer at that point. Now, fast forward 30 years and you've got a trend of a lot of people looking for an alternative to coffee because it does there are certain things that it messes with, whether it be your stomach or your digestive system, your adrenals, things like that. And some people, their doctors have said, hey, you can't, why don't you cut out coffee? You might feel better. But they really want that comfort factor of that warm beverage, or, ours, it dissolves in any liquid, hot or cold. You can bake with it. So you get that mouthfeel of coffee without all the different chemicals that come with the coffee bean.
Do you remember back then, 30 years ago, when he was doing that? And what can you tell me about it? Was there a lot of trial and failure? He'd go to the festivals, people wouldn't like it, they would like it, change and things, or did it just kind of start to build right from the beginning? Do you remember that?
I do. I was actually in California at that point for a brief time, but he, I remember him doing a lot of the fairs, and my sister was really little, so she went with him, everywhere, and my mom, and they just really enjoyed going to the different places. And he was always the keynote speaker at those conferences as well. So that kind of helped bring the legitimacy to what he was bringing to the table, and people always like the beverage. They're really, it's funny because people are like, oh, really? I don't know. That's dandelion. I don't know. Yeah. That's kind of weird to me.
We don't drink dandelions around here. Right. Yeah.
So, and it's funny because, again, the culture has been, you get rid of all the dandelions. And in reality, the dandelions were brought here as a seeds, because people from different countries were saying, they were told, when you come to the US, the New World at that point is you bring what seeds what plants
Really?
And so the Italians, the Germans, the French, British, they all do use dandelions in their diet, and it's part of their spring detox. It's because it's so good. It's so good for you.
Yeah. And so how are you selling it now? And when you got back and you were when you started taking the company under your reign and it started doing things, tell me about the growth. Did it grow tremendously under your father and then level off? I have a feeling it's kind of gone nuts here lately. Tell me a little bit about that.
So his philosophy was grow slow. So we were always trying to grow slow and make sure that we didn't run out of product, right? That we were doing, being judicious and making sure that we were balancing the growth as far as bringing, the product because our product, we bring it in from Poland. So because they do have the best, their agriculture rules are much tighter there, and they're very, so that way we can make sure that we have the dandelion fields are medicinal dandelion fields. They we don't use pesticides, we don't that kind of thing. So we want to make sure that the product is as pure as possible, and at that point we that's why we went over to Poland to get that. And then moving forward, it does take time to get that to make that process, right? So you have, they make the product, they package it, and then they send it to us. And it's because of the overseas, it's shipped, it takes about a month. That process takes about a month. So we have to really balance how that works. And so as far as when he was doing it, it started as like in the garage, started in the base, then it moved to the basement.
Yeah.
And then when my husband started working, we brought it down to Brunswick. So it was closer for him so he could start making sure that it was being packaged properly and we were shipping it out and things like that, because we had started to grow more. So we did jump from a couple different buildings in Brunswick, and the kids started really young because he had the kids after school, and it's just a fun family kind of atmosphere at that point. And then we moved into where we are now in Valley City.
And where can you get the product now? This is kind of an international thing, or this has kind of gone way beyond any expectations, right?
Yes. We've really, in the last, I'd say 8 years, we've really grown a lot. You can get it at Heinen's, you can get it at Mustard Seed. there's several different smaller places you can get it around town. We are always looking for wonderful companies who would like to partner with us and bring it into their stores. But we are in over 2,000 brick and mortars across the U.S. Our main places that it sells the most are Pennsylvania, New York, California, Nevada, Arizona, and Florida. So those are, we have, several in the Illinois area, but we have several, brick and mortar stores in each state, but the majority of them are in those places. And we're really grateful for those companies who have brought it into their stores and who love it, and their customers love it as well.
And I apologize, I don't know the situation, but your father, is he still involved? What does he think about this?
He has passed.
He has
but
passed
I have
away.
A feeling that he is looking down at us and loving every minute of everything we're doing.
I bet.
Because we're really big in Canada as well, and then we have several companies that actually take it to Asia, to Europe, to Mexico. So it really is it's become a pretty international company. We have a client that just ordered for Norway.
Wow.
So we're really excited about that. So it really is getting the brand awareness is what we were really focusing on when we were doing our marketing. We were in South Beach last year at the Wine and Food Festival, and we got to serve to, I'd say, almost 3,000 people a day. I mean, it was a lot of people we were serving to. And I can tell you that everyone that tried it, there wasn't really any, well, at that point, in South Beach, we had it with, we had it paired with a raspberry and chocolate syrup and an oat milk. So it was really, really yummy. Awesome. And it was iced. So, everybody, was like, this is great. And it really was one of the only non-alcoholic beverages available at that show. So, but everybody really liked it. And then from there, we went to New York City, and we were at the Coffee Fest in New York City. And so we had we really get, when people try it and open their minds, they're like, wow, this really is good. So, it's just a great product to be able to represent. And my dad, working on his legacy is really important to us. Yeah. And so we just want to share his dream to as many people as we can. And really his whole thing was, peace and happiness is how he ended every conversation. So that really is our motivation moving forward.
And that's kind of what, thank you for sharing that. And I appreciate that. And I knew that would be the answer. I just wasn't sure exactly how to ask it. The thing I'm interested most though about, let me tell everyone that's listening or watching here about Karin. Karin shows up everywhere. She is involved in her community. She just told you she's in Florida and she's selling product in Norway and she's doing 100 million things. Folks, this is a local family-owned company. And Karin, you're just doing it all. And I'm really interested in how a family-oriented company overcomes all the pressures that come with growing, and yet you stay so true and so humble and so pure in your community. And can you share more about how you do that?
I think it's a lot grace from God. I mean, honestly, because, if I look at all the things that are on my calendar or all the to-do lists, it would get overwhelming.
It's gotta be.
I'm on 3 different boards. I'm part of I co-chair Christmas in the Valley, which is a really cool event in Valley City that is community-wide. It's kind of like your Hallmark kind of event where we shut down the street. We've got, things in every business, and we're just highlighting the warmth and the love that comes out at Christmas time in Valley City. So as long as I'm doing one step at a time, and to be honest, my family really helps, because when I get overwhelmed, I've got, both of my kids are like, okay, Mom, breathe, write everything down. Let's go with the most important thing first. And, and then they take on some of that as well. So, it's really, really amazing to work with your family. And to work through things, because it's not, families are tricky sometimes, but with our family, we really have developed that if something happens, we talk it through. There's never a time when we are not talking to each other or anything like that. Everybody just works really well together. And if there is any friction, we work through it. We don't let it slide under the rug or anything like that. We're just really work together, and, it works out well.
One of the biggest problems we have as managers and leaders is sometimes we're not focusing on leading, and we end up doing it for our sales team. How do we coach our people to help them figure out what self-limiting belief that they have that's holding them back from achieving the levels of success that they know they're capable of? Help them flush out what we call their own head trash, that thing that's holding them back. So work with your team, lead by example, watch your team achieve greater levels of success, and watch your team grow, and more importantly, watch your company and your business grow.
Does being a family-owned small business, growing to the extent that you're growing, hinder you or help you? You could go out and hire some big CEO, or you could go stock market. You could do all kinds of things to just explode the thing, and yet you decide to keep it local. That can't be bad, though. Is it better or worse? Have you ever kind of balanced that a little bit? I know the choice you've made, but
right.
What are you giving up?
You know what? Again, we're looking at making sure that we don't grow too fast, that we don't, you see some companies that have grown too fast, or that or even you have to call a bigger company, and it's rough. It's rough to get a hold of somebody. It's rough to get a resolution for anything. And I think with a tight family company, it's easier for us to make sure that the product is a quality product, that our customer service is top notch, that we get everything out same day it's ordered.
Yep.
As long as it's, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
So, we're doing all that. Plus we decided, we want everyone to have their dream. So Gina, our daughter, who's doing our marketing, and she also really wanted to open up a boutique. Mm-hmm. So we went ahead and opened up the boutique. It just opened it was a soft open in March, and our bourbon cutting was in April.
Because you had nothing else going on, right?
Yeah. But again, it's our creative thing, right? So she makes the most amazing soap that's really luxurious and lathers, and it's all pure. And we're using that same botanical sense to make really, really awesome products, whether it's lotion or soap or dry shampoo or magnesium oil. That we're using that, and we're infusing the botanicals into our oils.
Wow.
So that we can still use that nature, right? Yeah. So at the base of our whole company is making sure we're thanking the earth and using what God has given us to make our lives better.
Is that your purpose then? You must be really proud of the way you and your family and your father before you are doing these things. And I know how important that is to you. Is it your purpose to run a good business and to take care of the earth properly and to do those things right? Or is your purpose to build a big company? Which comes first?
Making the first. So it's making sure that
right.
we are running a quality company, that we're helping others, because that's really the next thing, is to help others, and that's another thing that we really focus on. And I think that is the most important part, is really making sure that we are good. We're doing things that are good for the for the earth, and for our family, and for all the other people that are out there that are enjoying the product and would like to see peace and happiness throughout the world.
And so one of the things I'd like to talk about on this show, the purpose under pressure. I think we all have a purpose. We have a direction. We have a path, and we try to stick to it. But then certain things happen. There's, I need more top line. I need to cut the bottom line. I need to figure out a more, a product that does this better than that and cheaper, and all these things that come into business. And I think that those pressures get in the way sometimes of what we're really trying to do. Do you have any examples, because you've done this really well and you've stuck to your path, when you had to make a decision, you had to take a hard road to kind of keep on that purposeful direction instead of taking the shortcut?
Yes. So basically, the one thing that I think that makes us not sleep at night are when we get certain people that have agendas that are against what we stand for. So they might want to change a law that in Congress, or they want to be advocates for their particular whatever they want to do, right? So and then that coincides with what we're doing. So we're doing everything right, and we're doing, we're being conscientious, and we're doing things that we feel are that are our purpose, I guess you would say.
The right thing to do. Mm-hmm.
The right thing to do, that, and that's really, sometimes I tend to go hard on the right thing. So I know this is the right thing to do. This is what's in my heart. It might be the harder thing to do. It's not the easy thing to do, but it's the right thing to do.
That's right.
And I think that's what we focus on. And sometimes people want you to do the easy thing as opposed to the harder thing. So I always land on the side of the right thing to do. And so that's kind of where we're at. That's why we do that's why I'm always, helping with others in the community. Why, we're on the board, I'm on the board of the chamber to help others to get to where they need to go. And also on the board of Serenity and the Recovery Center. So, and then we help with Valley. Then I'm, co-chair the Christmas in the Valley and do all the things that we do. And now Gina has joined me on the Valley City Community Group as well. So we are doing what I'm so excited about is that Goosefoot Acres Home and Dandelion has allowed us to be able to help and be a part of all of these wonderful things. And, we really can help others. And that's a really big part of what's important to us.
I love
that. As
that.
you know, sometimes I get into that, and it's just, it gets to be a lot.
It gets to be a lot. And I was just going to say, it's interesting. No one in Norway cares about that. Right. And no one in Canada cares about that. And yet you're doing it. You're on the chamber board. You're at the Serenity restaurant. You're doing these things that matter. You're opening Wandering Goose with your daughter. She's opening that, and you're instilling those same things into her to take her brand even bigger and bigger. And you're doing the right things. And you must be really proud.
I'm really proud. I'm proud of both of the kids. They both are excelling and doing amazing things. And
so awesome.
We just became new grandparents a month ago, and that's just the cat's meow, right?
Isn't it great?
So,
isn't it great? Man, if we could become grandparents without the kids, sometimes I think that's the goal. Yeah, if we could only figure that out, because grandkids are awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just kidding about that. Hey, I'm wondering what's next. So you've got the Wandering Goose, you've got Dandy Blend, you've got all this expansion going on, and it's almost like a boulder running downhill. But what's the next hurdles that's going to that you're going to have to overcome to accomplish the next things that you're trying to accomplish?
Well, we try not to think of them as hurdles to begin with. We try to think of them as more of an opportunity that we can utilize to the best of its ability, right? So it's just fun to see what we can accomplish next. My husband is very he loves projects. He loves to rehab things and make things better. So sometimes I don't even know what's going to be next, and I get hey, look, this is what I did. So we're going to do this. And so we're like, okay, that's good. So we're all supporting each other and helping each other and making sure that all of the different things that everybody wants, their passions, come through, and that we support them in any way we can.
You're just doing the next right thing. It's often the best strategy, right? The next opportunity to do something well, just do it. I'm thinking back to the way your dad started the company as we kind of come to a close here. And he couldn't drink coffee or caffeine, and he needed something. And so he created this thing. He invented this idea using his strengths. Mm-hmm. And don't we all like, wow, I wish they'd create a pop can that would just open up. You know, we all have these ideas. Wow, why hasn't this been invented yet, or whatever? Right. And 99.999% of those ideas just get thrown and tossed aside. And maybe it's because of lack of confidence, lack of ability, lack of knowledge, whatever it might be. What would your suggestion be or thought be for a budding entrepreneur, inventor that just has an idea? I mean, look what you and your father did with yours. What would you say to somebody else who has that same situation?
I said, keep dreaming. Don't quit. Just find a way to either partner with somebody you trust, or really, you know, just keep dreaming about it, and not just dreaming, but put your step forward, find people to connect with. I mean, the chamber is a really great networking opportunity where you can find people to help you and do things. And so that's another idea, is to join a chamber or to idea. Join a networking company, you know, something of some kind. And, you know, make sure you trust the people you're talking to, because of course ideas are ideas, right? And you don't want them to be taken by somebody else. So, trust the people you're working, you find people you trust, and just do one step forward. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. That's probably a bad thing. You know, PETA hopefully won't come down on me, but you know, it's just
you can tell
really
you've been burned a couple times
to make sure that you just, you know, take one step at a time, write it down, really work with people that you trust, and enjoy the steps, because it can be very frustrating and scary, but enjoy it.
How do people get Dandy Blend if it's not in their stores currently? Are they able to buy it online? Should they ask for it? How should that happen?
Dandy Blend is available on Amazon. So you can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it through our website as well. On our website, we also have a sheet that you can actually download and take to your store to ask them to carry it. And then it will have all the information on it that is required for getting in touch with us and purchasing it. Also, you know, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We've got a TikTok, and we just started Pinterest because somebody at my networking group suggested that Pinterest would be a really good, really good place to start, or where, you know, is a really good place to advertise and to get ideas out there, especially because dandelion is so versatile. You can bake with it. There's just a ton of recipes on Instagram or on our website that we have. And we're really proud of all the different things you can do with it, and that people are getting that dandelion in an instant. The goodness of the dandelion.
Folks, if you're looking for the right thing, if you want to try something new, if you're a store that cares about your customers and cares about their customer experience, and if you just want to maybe reward good people doing good things locally and on an international basis, I'd really suggest that you reach out and talk to Karin. Look into Goosefoot Acres, look into Dandy Blend, and see where that leads you. I think doing the right thing never leads you wrong. So reach out and see what happens in that kind of a partnership. Karin's going to take good care of you. The company's going to take good care of you. And I think you're going to be happy you did. Karin, is there any other way they would connect to you? Do you want to give any phone numbers, emails, or anything of that sort? Or do you just want them to go to the website?
They can go to the website, but you can also reach me at Karin, which is Karin, Reale, Reale, at dandyblend.com.
That's awesome. You're one of my favorite people. You just have this energy about you that if you're having a bad day, I don't have too many bad days. I'm thankful for that. But if you're a little down and you get close to Karin at all, you start to feel better. And there's something in people, and she's got it. So, Karin, thank you very much for sharing your story with us.
You're welcome, and thank you for inviting me.
That's Karin Reale, folks. She is the CFO and an owner at Dandy Blend and Goosefoot Acres. Check that out. Look it up. If you haven't tried Dandy Blend, you should, just because. Why not? We're on this planet once. Give it a shot. And if you like it, then find a place where you can buy it. Tell a grocery store. Get on Amazon. Do your thing to help them because they're doing the right things too. That's Karin Reale. She's the owner and CFO of Goosefoot Acres, home of Dandy Blend. She's my guest on Purpose Under Pressure. It's brought to you by Sandler by the Ruby Group. Sellers are under pressure to perform, and Sandler helps you to succeed on purpose. I don't normally do plugs, but one more plug, The Wandering Goose in Brunswick and Valley City. Yeah, you got that. Check that out too. You'll find all past episodes of Purpose Under Pressure at brianmediastrategies.com/podcast and wherever you stream your favorite shows. We do this every week, and we will see you next time on Purpose.